I like the Glen, I think. I mean, I like both tracks are completely different. I mean, in a sports car, I mean, Sonoma's really fun. It's a handful in a stock car because, you have so much weight and so little grip and so much power. And the Glen just seems to really suit NASCAR. I mean, you can run the cars really hard and the tires don't go off. And I wish they would run the long course one year just for the hell of it, because I think that would put on an unbelievable show. But I like them both, but I think for some reason, Watkins Glen's like my second home.
Sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I've thought of the same thing. I always wish that they would do the boot every year and then the regular course and so on, like alternate. That would be cool.
I know. I think they should do that, alternate every once in a while. It'd be exciting.
Definitely. Didn't you finish third one year at the Glen in the Centrix car?
Yep. We finished third there. I think that's my best. My best Cup finish is third there. Yep.
What do you remember about that race?
I remember I was chasing the leader down, and but then Robby Gordon and I battled a little bit, and he got by me on a restart. I had a really tall first gear because I was using all four gears, and he kind of got me because of that. But I mean, it's just a good hard race. I mean, I've had a few chances there where I was the fastest car and either the engine broke or something happened. And so I've had some bad luck there because of that. I remember the second year I went there to do a Cup race in Jimmy Spencer's car. We were the fastest, both practice sessions. We were top of the board in I think 1990. And then qualifying got rained out. So we went home because we had no points. So a lot of that happened through the years. But, then we've been, leading or not leading, but, I know that in front of us, they had to pit. And there was like 15, 18 laps to go. We're in a really good spot and we lost a motor. Another time I'm passing Robby Gordon down the back straightaway and he hooked my bumper and wrecked me, and he ended up winning the race. So, that day, we were in the Jasper car that we could have won that day. So just, you need a lot of luck to win a NASCAR race, and you need to not make mistakes. And so I've had bad luck and I've made mistakes, but I still, man, those races are so much fun to drive. So hopefully this year I'm going to do a few more just to I want to kind of come out of retirement to try that new car. So I'm hoping I can put a deal together this year to run a couple of them.
Yeah. Didn't you drive for Carl Long last year?
Yeah, we did two races. It didn't go very well in the Xfinity series. We just had some car problems and bad luck. I mean, it's tough now when you get no practice, really. You get one little practice session, and if there's anything wrong with the car, and then, you don't really know if you get it ready for qualifying. So it's a lot harder now without all the practice. You really have to have your preparation 100%.
Yeah. This is my last question I have for today, but describe your Xfinity win at Montreal.
I mean, that was, of course, you always remember your wins. I mean, the coolest thing about that win to me was when I was sitting in the, where they interview after, in that room, I was just sitting there thinking, wow, Ayrton Senna sat in this chair and Michael Schumacher sat in this chair. I mean, the Formula One greats that sat in that chair made me feel like, pretty special and pretty proud. But, that was a really cool win because Robbie Benton, we probably had the smallest team there. I remember at Victory Lane, they said, okay, you can get all your guys for the picture. And we're like, this is all the guys we have, But the funny thing about the race, the last 20 laps, I didn't have a radio. And we were trying to be really careful. I was talking, even though I couldn't hear them, I was talking like I heard them, like I was hearing things, just so I don't want to get black flagged for not having a radio. So when we were coming to the checker, I thought I gave the race away. I was coming down that long straightaway, and I didn't want to overshoot the corner, and I broke like that split second too early. And Max Papis went in about a split second too deep, and he went right by me. And I'm like, oh, I thought I gave the race away, but luckily he got in a little too deep and he got a little out of shape, and I got under him, and we drag raced to the finish line. And as we were racing to the finish line, I'm just looking at him, and he was looking over at me. And anybody else, I probably would have leaned on him, but we're good friends, so I didn't. And we crossed the line. I had no idea if I won, no idea at all, because my radio's dead. And so I remember the year before when Robby Gordon thought he won, but he didn't win. I didn't want to be that guy. So, and I'm not bagging on Robby because I'm a big Robby Gordon fan. I mean, he's one of the most amazing drivers and a great guy. But I'm driving around that cool-off lap, and I didn't want to wave out the window. I didn't want to do anything, and I was just thinking, I wonder if I won. It was so close. I was looking, but I couldn't tell. And so I decided about halfway around, I go, if he pulls into the pit lane, that means I won. If he stays on the track and goes down the front straightaway, well, he won. So I was just waiting. It felt like a 5-minute lap, and I'm just waiting. And I saw him pull in, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I went down the front straightaway, and before I celebrated, I drove to the pit wall, and I asked my crew guys, because they were all over the wall, I go, did we win this thing? So it wasn't until the very end where I found out if we won. So that was a big day for us, and I was really happy for Robby Benton and the effort. And again, that was a deal where Jack Roush lent me that car, to use for the weekend, and Robby Benton prepared it, did a great job with very little resources, and we ended up pulling off a win by, being a little smarter than everybody else. So that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool to see. What did Max say afterwards?
Of course, he hates to lose. He's a competitor, but we're really, really good friends. And he said, if I was going to lose to anybody, I'd rather have it be you. And I kind of felt the same way. I like him and his family, his wife, kids. He's a great guy. And everything I drive now, I have his steering wheels on my car. My son's Miata has his steering wheel. So yeah, he's a legend, but he's just a fun guy.
Definitely. It's great to hear, and I'm glad you enjoyed that win because it was well deserved.
Yeah, any win, to be honest with you, it's like a drug. It feels so good, and I don't care if it's a Trans Am car or a Miata, whatever it is. It's that same feeling, and it seems just as hard to win in any division as it does. It's just you got all those competitors. I watched my son racing these Miatas, and some of these guys that run this, SCCA amateur racing, but the top 10 guys I think are as good as any road racer in the country. Preston Pardos and the team owner we race for, Jim Drago, he's a 50-year-old guy. I would put him up against the top 5 road racing guys in NASCAR any day of the week. These guys, they run hard. So it's exciting, and I just love the sport. I've loved it for 35 years. I can't believe I got to do it for that long, and still get to do it. People still call to do things, and it's awesome.
It looks like you're having a lot of fun, like in the Trans Am car in Nashville that I saw you compete in. That was a big weekend.
Yeah. Trans Am's a lot of fun. The TA1 cars, the TA2 cars are really competitive. It's a tough field. The TA1 cars are probably the best race car in the world right now to drive. They're almost 900 horsepower. They don't have any aids. There's no ABS. There's no traction control. And it's real raw old school racing. And they're a blast to drive.
Sounds like it for sure. Now that you mentioned that it took a while for you to figure out you won that race, I should bring up that when I first saw Stadium Super Trucks in Nashville, I saw 5 trucks do burnouts afterwards, since they're all about entertaining the fans. Yeah. And for a minute, I was like, who won the race?
Right. I think the coolest thing about that was when Robby Gordon drives around on 2 wheels all the way around the track. It's pretty neat. And to see those trucks jumping like that it's ridiculous. At Road America, I think it's one of the most exciting things I've ever seen. They're jumping those things like forever. It looks impossible, and it's amazing.
Can you imagine Max Gordon going toe-to-toe with Boris Jr. in a race one day?
Max, I couldn't imagine me going toe-to-toe with him. He looks like he's 6 years old. I think he's 12 or 13 now, and he is really fast. And I think it won't surprise me when you see that kid in Formula One. He seems like he's really good, and he's got a pretty good dad that knows a lot about racing, and he's obviously got a lot of talent. So I would love to see an American in Formula One, and it'd be really cool if his name was Max Gordon. And I think he stole Max Papis' name. I think he's going to be Mad Max Gordon. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, when I was in Nashville, Max Gordon his truck actually said Mad Max on it.
That's exactly where I saw it. And I go, well, that's pretty nice of Papis. He's going to leave it to the next generation, because he had the coolest nickname nickname of anybody. You know, I remember the first time I noticed him was 24 Hours of Daytona, and that year we won in the BMW. But he was lapping me. I think he lapped me twice near the end of the race. The last stint I was in, he was in a prototype, like I think it was a Ferrari, and man, the guy was driving like he was possessed, like possessed. At the end of a 24-hour race, I mean, he was hanging it out there trying to catch up to the leader, and I forget where he ended up, but that's where I heard the nickname Mad Max Papis for the first time. I go, man, I need to meet that guy someday. But he was a nut. I mean, and he still is a nut. I think he always will be a nut. Yeah.
But he's your nut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's my people. I love the guy. I like a brother. He's a great guy.
Definitely. And hopefully we see you continue to enjoy some Trans Am success this year.
Yep, a little more Trans Am this year. I'm going to do a few TA2 races here and there, and then some TA1 races for Pancho Weaver, and Anchor Nut and Bolt in TA2, and then hopefully one or two Cup races.
Hopefully, and I'm sure that it'll pull off because you'd have the skill for it.
Right. Well, I appreciate that.
All right, that's all I have for now, but I thank you coming on, Boris.
Sure. Take care.
Take care. Talk soon.
Yep.